Hello. I hope this ambience is all right. My chair is creaky. Oh, now I see the chat. I didn't, for some reason, I couldn't see the chat earlier. I'm just sitting here eating popcorn, creaking in my chair, and I didn't even know anybody said anything, but hello again. I think I accidentally set up a delay, and I don't know how to fix it. But should we talk about both books or just the first book? Because I did end up reading through the first book and then I read the second book. Okay. We'll we'll just stick with the first book then, because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. It was pretty good though. I feel like there was a chapter in a chapter or two in the first book where I felt like it went back and forth. Like they went in the cellar and then left the cellar and then back in the cellar. Like it was a little awkward, but it still worked. I actually really also liked the magic system. It was pretty simple and easy to explain for a duet because like usually the magic system takes a while to explain, and I was surprised that because it was simple, she was able to explain it really well, like really quickly. And it didn't feel like an info dump. I actually had returned the book to Kindle Unlimited because I forgot that I had to have the book on my phone to get to my notes, or not on my phone, my Kindle, which I just got popcorn all over. Oh, I set up a little wheel to spin at the end with everybody's wish list. I feel like there's definitely a lot of stop and go in the second book. Like they have to get here, and then they have to get here, and then they have to get here, and then they have to do this, and then they have to do this. So if you're halfway through, then that's probably where, like, a lot of the gotta get here, gotta do this, gotta do this. It may have also been a little bit jarring too because it's multiple POV instead of just following the nightmare. And Elsbeth, you're following two groups. The ending is worth it, though. I feel like I have a hard time with books because I feel like there isn't really any, like, in between. Like, it's either 5 star or 1 star, and I feel like if it's working toward a 1 star, then I'm probably not gonna finish it. I'm I am so bad with DNFing books. Like, if they don't just get my attention and hold it there, I don't know. I just can't. I'm not one of those people that can force myself to finish a book if I don't like it. Do you have a Kindle or do you read on your phone? Nice. I just got mine. I actually had my first Kindle was uh I got it I believe in 2009, and then I just got another one for Christmas last year. So I went right from that old one with the little keypad at the bottom, was like really hard to navigate. Well, and then this one for Christmas. Let's see. I added some notes. That was something, though, when they went. When she finally joined them and was like dressed in the highwayman garb, and surprise, her dad's there. But he didn't like. I guess her eyes must have been yellow the whole time because he didn't like look in her eyes and recognize it. That's what I do. I actually don't have like. I think that where we live is like maybe 780 square feet or something like that. So I don't have anywhere to put any physical books unless I really, really like them. Though I did read and buy the ACOTAR series, and then I read and bought the Red Rising series. I know. I feel like if I were to look my kid in the eye, even if they're flashing colors, like I know what my kid's eyes looks like, but I guess then again he did send her away, so she was living with her aunt, so maybe he didn't recognize her like you would if you had been with your kid every day. But I was waiting for it. Like I thought, well, I can't remember if that part that I'm thinking of is in the first book or second book, but now I don't want to say it cuz I don't want to spoil anything, but like I really enjoyed it too. I got the hardcover editions, but that I actually um, bought and read all of the hardcover edition first, and then I bought the ebooks. So I kind of did it backwards that time. I wonder if he stopped, like, looking her in the eye because he could, like, did he feel guilty and that's why? Or because he could still see the infection? Or the nightmare, rather. Maybe he... I don't know. I don't understand why he got married so quickly after her mom died if he was still in love with her and put irises all over the place. I mean, the second marriage was it, you know, it wasn't a marriage for love, I guess. Maybe it was just arranged. I thought I took more notes than this, but I guess I didn't. Unless, actually, maybe it's in my books. In my... notes. Nope. I'd be darned, really, if I let my new spouse talk to my child that way. I feel like as soon as I had any inkling that they were doing that, we'd be having it out. But then again, my teenage daughter has no chill, so she wouldn't let anybody talk to her like that anyway. It was. I kind of got the feeling that maybe the sisters weren't as against her as the mother was. Like, even though they weren't really close, they didn't really have the opportunity to be close. But that stepmom, she was jealous. She was so jealous. I wonder I wonder if, like, if she changes later. I don't know. Yeah. She was a bad stepmom. She was a horrible and bad stepmom. I feel like once she absorbed the nightmare, I feel like he was more like a father to her than her stepmom, or, well, more of a parent to her than her stepmom or her real dad. Because even though the nightmare knew what was coming, like, he still encouraged her to, like, talk about it, even when she didn't want to. Because I saved this piece in here. It says, "You cannot undo what already begins." You cannot erase the salt from the din, but if you want to let me out, you must let him in. That was so sweet. Like, he didn't want her to, like, suffer by herself. He was like, you gotta tell him. They, in the second book, they definitely elaborate more on their relationship. Did I get disconnected? Let me go back to where I was. Saw a little symbol on my, what's it saying that I was disconnected? Maybe I just got disconnected from YouTube. Because I was connected to YouTube also. Maybe I just got disconnected from YouTube. Because I was connected to YouTube also. Okay. I accidentally exited out and I don't know what happened. But I fixed it, I think. I'm not real tech savvy. Exit out and I don't know what happened. But I fixed it, I think. I'm not real tech savvy. There. And now I got muted, I guess, because I didn't realize it was echoing. I just saw a highlight that I noted about Hoth using his scythe card on her cousin. I would like to throttle that man. She definitely wrote a really good bad guy, because you definitely go from not knowing he exists to immediately just wanting to like beat him up. I don't know what I did. Oh. Okay, maybe it's working now. I think it was something to do with the internet, because I saw like a little disconnect symbol and then it disappeared, and then now it looks like it's working. It must be my internet. They usually send me a notification if they're going to be working on it, like, but I didn't get one. So maybe it's something else, or it could be because the weather is bad. But I will admit, I was just sitting here talking to myself for a while about Hoth. I hate him too. When I was talking to myself, I was saying that she did a really good job of making you go from not knowing who he is at all to immediately you just hate him. So it wasn't like the enemies to lovers because he just started out as you just want to kill him and there ain't no way. Like nobody's gonna like that man. I don't usually like sit off like if I read something that's really emotional, I usually always like outwardly react. So like there was a few times where I gave my Kindle a vulgar gesture because he made me so mad. I mean, it wasn't the Kindle's fault, but I was still mad. Like he thought he was being sneaky trying to use the chalice card without their permission and almost killed Elsbeth. I do too. Usually, if it's like a rough chapter emotionally, I'll take a break for a little bit and then I'll pick it back up and keep going. But I find that I do that quite a bit. Like, go, calm down, take a minute. Oh, hi, Julie. It says Julie is watching. He knew she was lying after she wouldn't talk or acknowledge and she got the chalice poisoned her and like she almost died from that. So he kind of immediately knew she was lying after that. No, you cannot have my popcorn. My cat is trying to steal my popcorn. No, go sit over there. Go sit just for now. Just for now. Kippin. I looked away for a second and she's just gobbling it up. Oh, her uncle is a selfish turd. At least her dad. Oh my gosh, I can't say because I don't remember if that's the first book or the second one. I won't say anything else. Let me look at my notes first. I really thought like she was looking at his eyes, searching to see if they were glossed over, to see if he was like underneath under the scythe card, and he literally just did it because, oh, and he basically raised her. Yes, the second book is pretty good. It just is a little trips you up a little bit because it goes from the first book being one POV to the second one being four POVs, three or four POVs. So it 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 took a little bit to get used to the change. but a lot happens at the end of the second book. In the beginning of the second book, I feel like there's a lot of back and forth, like here, there, here, there, here, there, and then the end was really good. I guess her mom and her aunt were really close, and that's why she immediately was like, "Give her to me if you can't." Threw her out the window so that she wouldn't get caught with the fever and everything. No, you could wait until you get KU if you're planning on getting KU later, because it's on KU also. Actually, I'm not sure, but I believe that the second book might I'm like looking at my chat on the phone, but I'm like looking for my phone to check, but I believe I believe the second book is on sale. I could just look on my Kindle real quick. Go home. But that's the ebook, I think. Kindle Unlimited is absolutely worth it, especially if you gift it to yourself and you get it. You know, if you know you're going to be reading a lot anyway. So if you gift it to yourself for 2 years, I think it's basically like $7 a month. Oh no, the ebook isn't on sale. Maybe it was just the first one. I thought it was $9.99, and now it says $5.99 for the first book. I cannot believe. Never mind, that's in the second book. I need to stick to the notes or I'm going to end up. I'm so bad with spoiling stuff. Yeah. I like the magic system too because it felt like it was really easy for her to explain without having to info dump. It was simple and it was quick and it was easy and perfect for a duology. Gosh, you know I am really bad with spoilers. I really try, so that's why I'm trying to just stick to my notes. This has got to be the creakiest chair I've ever sat on in my life. Oh, Julie, remember when you were telling me that I was doing a live before and you were talking to me but I couldn't see it? I figured out how to make. I have my phone open and I was supposed to click on the chat so I could see it. Now I see it. I'm actually reading 2 books now. I got one on my Kobo from Blood and Ash, and then The Serpent and the Wings of Night on my Kindle. The Serpent and the Wings of Night is supposed to be for next month. I read like the first 3 chapters, but I'm gonna wait until, what's it, tomorrow? I'm gonna finish From Blood and Ash, and then I'm gonna go on to the next book of the month. Okay, back to my notes. Well, I got a little touch of the autism, and I can put things into boxes. So, it's not that hard. For me, it's not that hard. Well, having the highlights and notes in your books for talking points, even if you're not going to talk about it, helps characterize everything. But I will say that in between, oh my goodness. So, it actually just something clicked in my head. Where is it? There. Murder mystery. I actually read, I don't know if you like thrillers or not, but I read my brain, Bitter Crown of Thistle by Alicia Galvin. That one was crazy. And then she wrote another one she just released, and I got an art copy. It was called Yesterday's Empire. That one was like a paranormal thriller. Those were both really good. The writing style, I think, though, also makes a difference. So if you're reading someone that's like in third person, like if you're reading a fantasy that's in third person and then you're reading a fantasy that's in first person, it's easier to separate in your brain also, because it's the writing style is different even though it's the same. Bitter Crown of Thistle was so good. Yeah, I actually forgot about Stuff Your Kindle Day, even though I had it pinned. Like, I remembered the day after. But if you have triggers, though, you should read the trigger warnings before you read those. Because I think there's SA in Bitter Crown of Thistle. I mean, I don't think, I know there is. And then I think there's just a lot of gore in Yesterday's Empire. near the end. Yeah, it's kind of realistic though, because if it's like a historical like type fantasy in olden days, women were very devalued. We were Women were just objects. I mean, we kind of still are to some. There wasn't really any of that in this book in One Dark Window, though. I mean, other than him implying that he could if he wanted to. But I think I don't know if there's a trigger warning for that in the beginning of the second book or not. But I believe that that instance is in the second book. Definitely folks abusing that scythe card. How do you like this wizard study background? I didn't know for I didn't think it was going to turn out to be Raven, but I didn't know. I think what confused me is the fact that if she was supposed to have absorbed the cards, why the second nightmare card still worked. And then there was a blurb that I read where it made it sound like in order for her to unite the deck, or for them to unite the deck, she had to absorb them. But that blurb was totally wrong because the if she other things that no, I can't say because I'm gonna accidentally spoil something. I need to like. I wish my brain was as easy to organize as my other things. I thought so too, but uh, uh, Well, that's another thing. In ACOTAR, they when I first read it the first time, I assumed that all mates could talk to each other in their heads like that. But then come to find out, it's only the Diamantes who can do that, and Nesta and Cassian can't do that. It if she, I guess she just absorbs whatever bargain was made to make the card in the first place. But I thought that if she absorbed it, eventually I assumed that she would be able to use the card's gift since she absorbed it, but that wasn't the case. Her dad said, I was just looking through my notes. Her dad said if I could go back and do it differently, I would. I wonder what all different he was referring to. Oh, I did too. I love castles. You know, speaking of castles, this this ambience that I have in the background. Oh my gosh, yes, because they knew it was haunted too, so it was like just eerily, but not like bad. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it wouldn't work anymore. I think that I don't want to spoil anything. There's elaborations for certain details, such as that in the second um, book. I don't want to spoil it, but there. So this ambient background that I have on right now is actually a game, and it's a game where you can make things and other people can make things and you can explore it. But there's like an old castle that you can explore. I'm not sure I remember how to get to it. I guess I ain't supposed to go in there. Where's the castle? I can't remember how to get to that castle. This is like underneath of one of the castles. It looks like an arena. I want to go see a real castle. Like with all the fancy tapestries, like a real medieval style looking castle. Okay, well, since it's the end of the hour, I'm going to go ahead and spin this wheel. All right. Tiana is the winner of the wish list giveaway.